Good afternoon, Jeremy Stewart, Police Chief, Mayor, Council, and Councilor Graham. Thank you for the opportunity. There's several priorities that I have. We have been speaking on them since really before February 11th, but especially after February 11th when Officer Hernandez was murdered. As Larry mentioned, it's hard to commit to anything because we don't have actual bills yet, but the overall theme that I'm looking for is competency reform. Our competency statutes, I think, I would argue, are the worst in the country. They give us no options on how we deal with people who especially commit numerous crimes and then are not found competent because there's really no options other than dismissing the case. I know that there's going to be legislation that's brought forward. I'm confident that anything that passes is going to be better than what we have now. It's really hard to make it worse. And so as the bills come forward, hopefully we'll be able to look at them and see what's promising or what maybe could be tweaked to make it better. Some of the other items we talked about, AOT, all that stuff, I would like to see it actually work together. In some states like Minnesota, you see their assisted outpatient treatment laws work with their civil commitment laws, with their competency laws, so that everything kind of connects to each other. And so you have, it makes as much sense as it can. It's complicated, but you have different paths for different people based on what's going on in their life. And it gives people options, which we do not have right now. Some of the other things I think that are important are pretrial detention, which is one of those topics that's more contentious, I think, than competency. But right now, they made some changes this last session, which I think are positive. But we still have more work to do, and that's highlighted, obviously, by the last officer-involved shooting where that person was in custody for 12 hours and 2 minutes for 2 violent crimes. And really, that should not happen. That shouldn't be able to happen. There should be time for the district attorney to petition for a hearing, and then ultimately the judge will decide whether that person is released or not. They're not going to be held indefinitely without a judge determining that. But there should be a presumption in a violent crime that the defense has to prove that they're not a threat to the community. Right now, the presumption is on the prosecution, and it happens so fast that sometimes the prosecution doesn't even have a chance to have that hearing. So for certain violent crimes, I think that's a reasonable tweak. So as an example, there's some things I would like to see. I think New Mexico has too many resources and too many positive things going for it to be #1 in crime. And so we need to make some changes to hopefully not be that high on the list.